glad to have you back, Ramon.
Well, thank you. Good morning.
I like how we test the sound system with you always.
Well, that's great. Well, you know what? My name is Ramon de Leon, and I am the former marketing mind of 6 Domino's pizza stores in Chicago. And I am beyond excited for the opportunity to share what I call the mind of Ramon and the passion of Ramon Wow right here live at LeWeb. So let's get this started. Now, the theme is the next 10 years. Well, let me tell you, some people might be thinking, what could a former pizza delivery guy, someone who at the age of 19 years old decided that they wanted to deliver pizza, what could this person possibly share with us about digital, about social media, let alone where it's headed? Well, let me tell you what. If you pay attention, you're going to find out why. This is the 3rd time I'm back at LeWeb. In 1989, you can't see it, but I had a pager on my side and a brick cell phone in my pocket. In 1989, after just 2 years on the job, we occupied McDonald's before the word occupied existed. The thing is that from the first day that I was on the job, I made sure that I showed up early with a desire to make a difference. And because I did that, I was actually able to keep my job. Because the first day on the job, I actually forgot my belt. So since I got there 30 minutes early, I was able to haul it back home to my sister's house and borrow a belt. And 27 years later, look where I'm at. So the first thing I want to share with you is that mindset. Make sure whatever you do, you show up early with a desire to make a difference, because anyone can have a job. My goal today is to inspire you. My goal is to inspire you to make a difference in the lives of your customers. To make a difference in the lives of your customers, your friends, your readers, every single person you come in contact with. And how am I going to do that? Well, you're about to watch. So if you are ready, if you think that I have introduced myself sufficiently, then let's get this show on the road. Obviously, I need my water. Oh. Some people say I preach social media, so I figured that my favorite song in the world would be a great backdrop. So, I need you to realize, as we take that first step forward, you need to realize that people share what's important to them. So what that means is that your first goal is you need to make sure that what you are putting out there is important to the lives of your customers, is important to the lives of your readers, because if not, they will not share it. Your content and the data that you create is what I call, it's your digital DNA. It's out there. It's searchable. It's something that can be easily found. So you need to make sure that you respect it as you put that information out there. So we're talking about the next 10 years. Where is social headed? Where is digital headed? Well, let me give you an example here. If the future were handed to you, if I literally came right up to you and I said, Miguel, this is what's going to happen over the next 10 years, would you believe me? Probably not. Anyone see the movie Back to the Future? In this scene in Back to the Future, this book was handed to someone and they said, these are the winning sports scores for the next 50 years. And they didn't believe them. So the same thing would happen today. Further in that movie, let me show you this clip.
In the future, we don't need horses. We have motorized carriages called automobiles.
If everybody's got one of these automobiles, does anybody walk or run anymore?
Of course we run, but for recreation, for fun.
Run for fun? What the hell kind of fun is that?
So in the movie Back to the Future, this guy came back, and he went back in the future, back in the past to tell him what the future was. Did he believe him? Absolutely not. So what's headed next is as good, your guess is as good as mine. But what's going to make a difference is if you focus on these very simple principles. One, realize that we have a generation coming that I love to call Generation Next. Clemente right here is 1 year old. His t-shirt says, I can't talk, but I'm already on Facebook. Does anyone else know a 1-year-old that's already on Facebook that can't talk? We all do. So Generation Next is the people, is the kids, is what we need to be paying attention, because they're coming, and they're coming in droves. Generation Next is learning how to use the bathroom in a totally different way than we learned. Generation Next has been born. They are here to lead us. Can you imagine that toddler as he grows up, what he's going to feel, what he's going to believe that he is willing, able, and capable to do? He's able to lead a crowd. That's how Generation Next thinks. That's how Generation Next basically is being bred. Go on Google. Web search Bat Kid San Francisco. Those of you that know the story, you will know the story of 5-year-old Miles that literally won the heart of San Francisco that day. But I think that one of the most important stories behind the Bat Kid is that in reality, kids today really don't want to grow up to be president. All they want to do is get his attention. 20 years ago, you would ask kids, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to, aspire to do? I want to be president. I want to be president. Today, all they want to do is get his attention. And you know what? It's working. Released a couple of days ago, Obama and many countries across the world are talking about having 1 hour of coding for kids. Because kids today, they're learning how to code. Kids today are learning entrepreneurship at a level that's just going to run circles around us. So we need to be ready. We need to be prepared. We need to be thinking, is my brand, is my message going to be enough for Generation Next? It's incredible to see a 9-year-old kid that I know have this pillow. And he says, when I was 5 years old, I kind of had a different outlook on life. I'm thinking, when I was 9, I don't think I knew that I had that well of an outlook on life. Generation Next is very digital. Generation Next is very mobile. When I was in the pizza business, one thing that was very common was kids already at the age of 8, 9, 10 years old sharing content with the brand. Here's an example. I had a customer tweet me that she needed pizza because the refrigerator after Super Bowl was just totally empty. After we delivered the pizza, her 9-year-old daughter, so excited about the fact that we delivered pizza, sent us a video.
Mr. Ramon for feeding us since our mom forgot to. We are Ramon Wow.
Oh my God. Now see, the whole thing is you need to realize that in business, part of your database is going to move. Part of your database is going to die. Where are you going to replenish it with? You're going to replenish it with Generation Next. Remember, people will only share what's important to them. Your goal is to make sure that you're important to them so that things like this can happen. I could not believe on report card pickup day in an elementary school when I saw this bulletin board in an elementary school. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is the type of sign that should be in offices above the community managers. And community managers should be asking themselves, is this something that's true? Is this something that's kind? We can learn from Generation Next, but we have to pay attention. I could not believe this also. A pediatrician out of Guanajuato in Mexico already on his, and when he writes out the prescriptions, he has his Twitter ID. He's a pediatrician. And I asked him, I said, Dr. Galvan, how many people do you have that are on Twitter? He said, I probably engage with 4 or 5 a month. Now, those numbers might not be big, but let me tell you, that's 4 or 5 people that his competitors are not even thinking about. So we thought Generation Next was something. How about Generation Just Born? Does anyone know someone that's less than a year old? Well, let me tell you, this is going to be, the kids that were just born it's going to be the most studied generation of our lifetime. Look at this story out of Fast Company. Tracked since birth, the rise of extreme baby monitoring. What is that? That's where you have wearable technology embedded in clothes that monitor absolutely everything of a child, sending you data to the apps, giving you an overload of statistics. So eventually what's going to happen is all of that data, someone is going to be smart enough to totally understand the next generation that's coming, Generation Just Born, and we better be ready. I could not believe this article that I saw on television in Chicago about babies on social media. Is it something that we should be doing? Can parents be held liable for the content that they're posting for those that don't even have a voice yet? When in reality, Generation Just Born, the only thing they want is just some rest. They just want to be kids, just like we were. Now, I love this photo. A friend of mine, Carla, I asked her, could you please let me share this photo? Because see, the thing is that no matter how much we study kids, kids are so real, kids are so transparent. When they want something, they will let you know. This is how my baby signals she would love to be breastfed. Wouldn't it be hilarious if all of us were that transparent? Kids don't lie, they talk from the heart. In my house that I call Casa de Ramon, wow, I could see what's happening. When my 12 and 13-year-old wants to create Vine videos, he puts this sign on the door so that he is not disturbed. TVs are the second or third screen in my house. My son on the left, you see 2 screens right there. That's during a doctor's appointment. The one on the right, that's a daily thing during breakfast. Trust me, the TV is the last thing that they're interested in. In order to really make a difference, in order to really go forward, you need to trust your instincts. Because your instincts is you. Unless you can trust yourself, who else can you totally trust? So how can you make this happen? Well, let me tell you that a presentation of mine would not be the same if I didn't share these words of passion where I say is that you need to be your own caffeine. You need to be the person that lights up the room when you walk in, not the person that makes it smile, that makes it shine when you leave. You have to make sure that your content, you have to make sure that you are not lazy. And yes, this is a real photo. Think about empathy. Read the writing on the wall. If you pay attention, you'll know exactly what that photo needs, a waste paper basket. You can't be boring. Being boring, when I was in business, I would say that that's the cost of advertising. You really want your customers, you want your consumers, you want the people that buy from you to be selling for you. Now, Loic, I got some breaking news, and I hope you're paying attention. So after 27 years, I had an agency hire me to come speak at their event. And after they met me, you will not believe the news here. The former Domino's Pizza marketing mind is now on the agency side in Chicago. So I wanted to share that breaking news here at LeWeb because here is where the news is broken. I mean, yesterday, Jeremiah launched a company from here. So I said, you know what? Let me launch my career chapter next at a place that's been my home for the past 3 years, LeWeb. So what's old in reality is what's new. And here's an example. Back in 2005, we were used to talking to our customers through IM, through instant messaging in 2005. We were talking to them in 10, 20, 30 characters. 9 years later, when Twitter was invented, somebody said, you know what, Ramon, you guys have 140 characters now. And I said, oh my God, we have 100 characters more? What else can I say? And our brand competitors were trying to figure out how they can condense their message. I was trying to figure out what else could I say. Breaking things that are happening right before my eyes. Eyewitness Twitter IDs on the news. We've seen it from reporters, but I've actually never seen it when someone is getting an interview as far as being a witness to live news, Twitter IDs. Even I say, Dios mío. I believe that as social and digital goes forward, there's going to be an individualization of the content. And what I mean by that is there's an ice cream parlor in Minnesota called Izzy's. They can hold about 120 flavors of ice cream in the refrigerator, but in the display case, only 20 or 30 fit. So they have RFID tags. And when flavors are brought out, sensors read it. It ties into the CRM, and it sends an email to people telling them, these are the flavors that you've been waiting for. That is having content not personalized, but made individual. You want to succeed and you want to go forward, just treat your customers like friends. That's all you have to do. Nurture emotional-based connections, because emotions are the things that get us to share. You need to also realize that even these micro interactions, that's easy for a small business, small enterprise to manage. Big global brands can do the same. And I have this prime example. So when I left LeWeb last year, I tweeted American Airlines from Charles de Gaulle Airport. And I said, when this plane lands, I would have finally reached executive platinum status. Can I get some love? So they tweet me back and they said, yes, we send you virtual confetti. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. Check out what happened when the plane landed.
You're not going to believe this world. Jet bridge. All right. I just got off the plane. I've been in Chicago only a few minutes, and then I hear my name. They say, Ramon de Leon, please come here. So I am being greeted by staff, friends here from American Airlines here in Chicago. And your goal is what was your message to me?
Congratulations on your executive platinum status. Woo!
Oh my God! Thank you very much.
You're the best.
Ramon, wow, live here.
Glad to have
Out of here.
Thank you for your business.
All I could say is that good things happen when you attend LeWeb. Other things that you need to do. While I was in Oslo at the beginning of the year, I realized that, you need to get people's attention with absolutely something. And why do you need to get people's attention? Because people are just darn busy. Can you believe this? Central Business District, Sydney, Australia. Yes, he's brushing his teeth. I almost wanted to follow him to see, what else happened, but I thought that was intrusive enough. You need to realize that your messaging, what you are communicating, your brand persona from here out, you need to realize that if you're going to roll out the red carpet, it better be red carpet service. Because if it's not, the public is just going to think, you know what? That's just for show, because in reality, they're just giving me a place to wipe my feet. And that is not making a difference in the lives of a customer. I believe, stealing aside a slide from my new home at Rise Interactive in Chicago, that difficult is good. Embrace difficult. Embrace the things that other people don't want to do, and that's what's going to set you apart. My second to last slide is always an empty slide. And the reason is that I would like to challenge you. The reason is that I would love to ask of you, take what you've learned so far here at LeWeb. Take what's still left to be learned today. Take what's still left to be learned tomorrow and fill up this slide. Become a case study. Become something that people want to talk about. That is where you're going to get the absolute extreme value for what you came here. Otherwise, all you heard was noise. Get out there, make a difference in the lives of your customers, make a difference in your friends. Let's get this second to last slide going. So how are you going to do that? I talked a lot about kids. Take this one simple message back home. Get out there and work. Get out there and play. Get out there and create with the passion of a child. Why? Because it's the kids that you're going to have to be selling to. It's the kids that are literally going to be making a difference and are going to be taking care of us in the future. So if you want to sell, that's who your customer is going to be. All I could say is, Loic, thank you very much. Congratulations on the last 10 years. I hope to be a part of the next 10 years. live from the stage here at LeWeb. My name is Ramon. Thank you very, 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 very much for being here, and I am out of here.
How great is this guy? Thank you,
Thanks,
Ramon.
buddy. I had a
Awesome.
blast. See you next year.
Yes, I think we'll have you every year now.
Oh my God, tweet it, because if you don't tweet it, it never happened. Out of here.
Thank you, Ramon. Wow. All right, next up without transition is, I don't know, can anyone speak after Ramon, but let's try it.